We begin tonight with a hoax call to 911 that led to a terrifying chain of events this morning.
Someone reported an active shooter and mass casualties at Savannah High School. That was just before 9. It led to panic across the city as several police agencies, emergency crews, and parents rushed to the scene. And we have team coverage tonight, starting with WSAV's lead investigative reporter, Brett Buffington.
So he is joining us live from Savannah High School with the breakdown of the events as they happened this morning. Brett?
But if you back up to the image on this street at 9 o'clock this morning, there was, of course, those officers showing up in tactical gear with assault rifles running towards this school. They met parents running towards the gates along the sidewalks, trying to find their kids, worried something horrible had happened.
Caller advised an active shooter was on the second floor of the school.
The 911 call that sent at least 100 police officers, deputies, federal agents, and rescuers to Savannah High School Wednesday morning was extremely specific.
Units en route. The caller advised it was a white male with a light shirt wearing a mask on the second floor.
That's where they're reconnecting everyone.
Scared students were met in classrooms by SWAT teams looking for an active shooter who didn't exist. It took almost 90 minutes from that 911 call just before 9 a.m. for the school to be cleared and the all clear to be given. For parents, for students, it was 90 minutes of panic.
For me personally, I was a little scared. I was a little shaken up just because everything that's going on.
Among those on the sidewalks between worried mothers and fathers, Savannah Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely.
Yes, they're terrified. My heart breaks for these families, for these children, for the parents, because of things that's happened across the country at our schools with these mass shootings.
Tonight, the investigation is underway as police, along with the FBI, search for the person who prank called in chaos.
And I can tell you tonight, the Savannah Chatham County School District has said they don't believe that anyone who goes to this school or works at this school is a part of this hoax call that happened here today. We are live at Savannah High School tonight. I'm Brett Buffington, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Brett, thank you. Hundreds of parents rushed to the school when they first heard the news. Our Ben Katko was there as they frantically tried to reunite with their children.
Relieved but concerned.
It's much of the same feeling from parents of students at Savannah High School Wednesday.
I was going to pick up my child, whether they liked it or not. I got my baby.
Jessica Rosario was one of hundreds of parents rushing to the school when she heard the news, later turning out to be a hoax. Her daughter, though, constantly on her mind.
Call me now. So they called me, and I heard her voice. I said, Mommy's coming now.
Rosario and some other parents also critical of the school's notification.
I feel like the school should have called me and told me first.
Yolanda Baker is the parent of a 9th grader at the school.
Yes.
You go down to the recreational center, that's where all the parents are gathering to pick up their children.
Picking up their children on a day ending in a huge sigh of relief.
I got my baby. I hope and pray everybody else got their baby.
Savannah Chatham County school leaders are responding to what happened this morning and trying to figure out the next steps going forward to help students cope. WSAV's Meg Porterfield continues our team coverage tonight.
Well, I'm here outside of Savannah High School, and even though this turned out to be a hoax, this was a crucial test for law enforcement. We spoke with the head of the school system's police force about the response.
In this community, we are prepared to respond to these kind of events. We're constantly working to improve how we respond. But today was a good example of all the training and preparation that we've done. All the agencies responded in the most appropriate way to make sure we protect the most valuable resources we have in our community, and that's our kids.
Now concern will shift to the emotional toll that this has taken, as CCPS is concerned about lasting effects of the lockdown. You're looking at text messages between a parent and a student inside of the school, saying he was scared and this is real. District officials are acknowledging these emotions.
Because this has created trauma for someone. Even though it was a hoax, we are very fortunate. Actually, we are very blessed that there are no casualties, there are no fatalities. However, it has left people with trauma. They've been traumatized as a result of today's event.
Well, district officials say they had trauma counselors available for students and teachers at the parent pickup location, and that these resources will continue to be available. From Savannah High, Meg Porterfield, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Savannah's interim police chief is giving us some perspective tonight on his officers' response to today's active shooter hoax. He says officers were at the high school within 2 minutes of getting the dispatch call.
Our priority today was to safeguard the lives of the children and staff, to reunite those children with their parents. But, you know, in the event this happens again, we're going to respond just like we did today. We don't want to be in a position where, you know, we don't respond and assume that it's a hoax.
Chief Gunther says SPD officers trained for incidents like this both within the department and with other local and state agencies.
Memorial Health is the area's only level 1 trauma center. They went into a full mass casualty mode once they got word of a possible mass shooting. As WSAV's Kyra Jones shows us, they are equipped and ready to help save lives.
When word of a possible school shooting was broadcast, one of the first to receive instruction was our local level 1 trauma center, Memorial Health. Here's a look at what happens when that call comes in.
We want to be prepared. We'd rather overactivate than underactivate.
When responding to a crisis situation, Memorial Health says they have the medically trained staff ready to make sure patients receive top care.
As a level 1 trauma center, we're required to have certain resources that other hospitals are not required to have. We have a medical team in-house 24/7, including trauma surgeons and residents that are in-house ready to receive and can respond immediately.
Dr. James Dunn, Chief of Trauma and Surgical Care, says massive efforts are taken throughout the hospital to treat multiple victims of gunshot wounds.
Clearing beds in the emergency room, we discharge people as much as we can to free up available beds. We hold all the operating rooms right now, so not only that one trauma room that we have available, but now we have 10 or 12 operating rooms available that we wouldn't normally have on a regular, day where a single isolated patient comes in with a gunshot wound.
Not leaving the family in the dark is one of the most important communication tools he and his staff have to help keep things moving smoothly.
Part of our mass casualty plan is we have a family waiting area. So if families know that their loved one is injured, we have an area that we can put them into the hospital and then we can give them regular updates.
Memorial Health's Dr. James Dunn tells me one of their first priorities is to assure the community that they are ready to care for your loved ones at any moment and in any crisis situation. Reporting in Savannah, Kyra Jones, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Several school districts across Georgia received similar threats today.
WSAV's Daisy Kershaw continues our team coverage. She is in the newsroom with what we're learning about those threats.
Absolutely. Well, a total of 13 school districts outside of Chatham County were impacted by this hoax. While the safety measures taken by each district is not known, we have heard from a few counties about their lockdown procedures. Brunswick High School was placed on a code red. Once it was deemed a hoax, the students were able to remain in class or leave for the day. And in Wayne County, students were placed on a level 2 lockdown. All doors were locked and staff was put on high alert. Classes did continue on lockdown. Governor Kemp responding to the hoax calls in a statement saying in part, quote, "For the criminals who orchestrated these hoaxes, we will go after them with every single resource available. The FBI is actively investigating these acts of domestic terrorism." Well, for most districts, operations returned to normal for the rest of the day. Law enforcement remained on high alert with more police response and presence on and around campuses. In the newsroom, Daisy Kershaw, WSAV News 3, on your side.